Imagine being 27 years old and sitting in a theater to watch the very movie that made your father a global icon, a movie he filmed when he was exactly your age. For Meadow Walker, that wasn't just a thought experiment, it was the reality of her Wednesday night in Cannes. Within the last 24 hours, the 2026 Cannes Film Festival was brought to a standstill as Vin Diesel led an emotional, tear-filled tribute to his late brother, Paul Walker, with Meadow standing right by his side. Diesel, wearing a Fast Forever jacket bedazzled in rhinestones, didn't just walk the red carpet. He used the 25th anniversary screening of the original 2001 film to declare that the only reason he could even step onto that stage was because Meadow refused to let him represent their brotherhood alone. The factual heart of this event is a masterclass in legacy management. On May 13th, the Paletta Festivals hosted a midnight screening that felt more like a family reunion than a movie premiere. Vin Diesel, joined by Michelle Rodriguez and Jordana Brewster, became visibly overwhelmed while speaking to the audience at the Grand Lumiere Theater. He shared a deeply personal exchange where Meadow pointed out the age parallel between her and her father, a coincidence Diesel described as profound. The highlight of the evening was a viral-ready hug between the two that lasted several seconds amidst a thunderous standing ovation. Diesel used this platform to bridge the past with the future, confirming that the final installment of the franchise, Fast Forever, will arrive in 2028 as a direct tribute to the fans who have kept Paul's memory alive. The public reaction has been an outpouring of Fast Family sentiment that has effectively rebooted the franchise's emotional stakes. Viral clips of Diesel's voice cracking as he mentions Pablo, his nickname for Walker, have racked up millions of views on TikTok and X. On social media, the debate isn't about whether another movie is necessary, but rather how the franchise has successfully transitioned from a street racing flick into a decades-long soap opera about genuine loss and loyalty. Fans are particularly focused on the godfather role Diesel has played in Meadow's life, with many pointing to her 2021 wedding where Diesel walked her down the aisle as the context for why this Cannes moment feels so earned. This situation escalated because it marks the first time in years that the core Fast family has leaned so heavily into the 2001 origin story without the distraction of blockbuster stunts. It tells us that in today's influencer-heavy landscape, authenticity is the most valuable currency. By bringing Meadow, who is a successful model and advocate in her own right, into the spotlight, Diesel is ensuring that the Fast brand remains grounded in human emotion rather than just high-octane CGI. It affects their reputation by silencing critics who have accused the franchise of milking Walker's memory. Here, it felt less like a marketing move and more like a necessary catharsis for a family that is still grieving. Original commentary: there is something incredibly heavy about the fact that Meadow is now the same age Paul was when he started this journey. It's a reminder that while the movies have moved at a breakneck pace, time has moved even faster for the people left behind. Vin Diesel's Fast Forever jacket might seem like a bit much for casual chic, but for him it's a uniform. This says that he isn't just an actor playing a character. He has fully subsumed the identity of Dominic Toretto as the protector of the family. This affects their reputation by turning the 2028 finale into a mandatory cultural event. It's no longer about the cars, it's about the closure. We have to separate the confirmed details from the online theories. It is a confirmed fact that the screening took place, and that Diesel made those specific comments about Meadow's age. It is also confirmed that Fast Forever is the title of the final film. However, theories that Meadow will have a major starring role in the final 2028 movie remain unverified, despite her brief cameo in Fast X. Additionally, while fans are speculating that this emotional reunion is a soft launch for a Meadow-led spin-off, no such project has been officially announced by Universal. The pacing of this 25-year milestone is setting the stage for a massive 2-year lead-up to the grand finale. This leaves us with a bigger industry question. Can a franchise that has grossed over $7 billion actually walk away in 2028? Or will the Fast Forever promise eventually give way to another reboot once the emotional weight of this anniversary fades? The future impact of this Cannes appearance will likely be a more prominent role for the Paul Walker Foundation in the lead-up to the 2028 release. The upcoming response possibility is a social media post from Meadow herself, perhaps sharing a private photo from the screening to accompany Diesel's public tribute. For now, the unresolved tension isn't between the cast members, but between the fans and the realization that the finish line is finally in sight. Vin Diesel and Meadow Walker proved last night that while the cars might change, the family stays in the same lane. Expert Guide: this reunion has refocused the world on the Fast legacy. Would you like to look into how the upcoming 2028 finale plans to integrate Paul Walker's character, Brian O'Connor, through modern technology or archival footage?